special anniversary pricing, and you get almost 4-month money-back guarantee. Typically, we're a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is ample time to see the benefits. But now, in October, you have until January 31st. So you have all of the rest of October, November, December, and all of January to experience the benefits.
Absolutely. All right. So abbreviated look at our finest value of the day. I think we're approaching 30,000 spoken for. So here's what we're talking about. Not only one of Andrew's most important products, we wait, it's one day and one day only, but especially as we head into the season, the holidays where you're stressed, where you could definitely use that energy rather than that sugary drink or that coffee through the drive-through. This is energy on a fundamental level. And I think that's one of the differences that we love about CoQ10. Not all CoQ10 is created alike, but this is not that quick fix. This is, your cells are not alive if you don't have CoQ10. And not just your cells. When you think about the hardest working organs of your body, your heart, your liver, your brain, honestly, the more you know, the more you're gonna be compelled to take this, but you have to take the right one. And truly, he's been doing it longer than anybody else that we know of. It is the world's finest CoQ10. So as our finest value of the day, you just choose your bottle count size. We have the 50, 100, 200, 400, or 600. Biggest savings, in fact, we were talking about it last hour, the addition of the vitamin B, the vitamin D, and the vitamin C, and then you choose vitamin D 1000 or vitamin D 2000.
Well, they already come with, our standard CoQ10 already comes with full B complex and B12, because CoQ10 can't work well without it. Vitamin C, it's been part of the way we make CoQ10 forever. Unlike other companies that just sell you CoQ10 on its own. But that chart is great to see, because if you just looked at the value of that C and B12, which I've never done this chart before, which was a mistake on my part. But today, for those of you who choose vitamin D3, our 1000 and 2000 D3 are the same price. So whatever amount of vitamin D, I view it as so important, you pay the same price no matter what level you choose. So vitamin D, B12, vitamin C, those alone are worth more than the today's special price. And those are inexpensive nutrients.
They are.
Because remember, that chart refers to almost 2,000 capsules of D3, B12, and vitamin C, because you're getting 600 capsules of CoQ10. So you get 600 capsules, the equivalent in that one capsule, because we use no additives, no binders, no fillers. So in that single small capsule, you're getting the equivalent, obviously, of 600 capsules, say in the large size, of CoQ10. It applies to whatever size you get. You're getting 600 capsules of the equivalent of separate B12 with B complex, 600 capsules if you choose vitamin D of 1000 or 2000 vitamin D, and 600 capsules of 300 milligrams of our non-acidic vitamin C. So you're getting all of those, and that's, when you consider the value, and that's why I've said, without question, this becomes the most important product I make, because if you look at what people might argue as the single most important supplement someone can take, the argument is going to be around vitamin D, vitamin B12, vitamin C, and CoQ10. Those are probably the half a dozen or so ingredients people would choose to argue which is the most important. Those are 4 of them. So when you get 4 of them in one product, along with a full B complex, it's hard to imagine another single supplement that could be more important than this product, and especially today. Hard to imagine, as expensive as CoQ10 is, and as expensive as our sophisticated B12 is, that's a natural, it's unlike any B12 you're gonna find at a supermarket or a discount store, because the typical form of B12 you find in a supermarket or discount store is kind of a waste. It's not going to be highly absorbable, it's not highly stable, and it's not natural. It's cyanocobalamin. That cyano sounds like the word cyanide, because it is similar to it. And as your body metabolizes that form of B12, it liberates trace amounts of cyanide. Not something that, it's something I worked very hard to avoid. So again, when you look at a product like this, to think that in the large size, it's now down to, it used to be a few dollars a capsule 20 years ago. Now it's down to pennies a capsule, a little more than a quarter a capsule in the large size, and a little bit more than that in the 400 capsule supply. So it's a value I never dreamed possible when I introduced CoQ10 34 years ago. 34 years ago, we were the first to do CoQ10, and even 20 years ago, the price was probably 10 times more expensive.
It wasn't. I'm just going to jump to that real quickly, just because last hour, and I don't know how many reviews we'll be able to get to, but there was a review that mentioned $19.99, and their cardiologist told them to take CoQ10. Okay, so that was $19.99. This is in comparison to 2000, okay? So, I mean, basically the same time frame. So from 2000 to 2006, this is what you would have paid, not for the 200 milligram, for 30, not for the 200 milligram, but for 30, that's 600 count size. Around that time that reviewers said their cardiologist should take CoQ10 would have been $1,500. And by the way, that was without the vitamin D that Andrew is including today. So if that kind of puts it in perspective, I mean, honestly, I'm somewhat dumbfounded when you see savings like that, but it's really true. I mean, this is a value that is really, really hard to ignore, not only because of the savings, but because of the multitude of benefits. And that's just it. As the holidays approach, chances are you may be drinking a little alcohol. Certainly you're going to be stressed. You're not going to be maybe sleeping or eating as well as you normally do. Chances are if you're watching this show, you may or may not be taking a statin or some kind of, drug or pharmaceutical. All of those things, to say nothing of the aging process, which of course is better than the alternative, but all of those things are compromising and hampering and hindering our CoQ10 levels. So to get it today for the best price in history, the only chance of the year, not only is this a special formula that Andrew only does as today's special with the addition of that vitamin D. Remember, you choose the 1000 IU or the 2000 IU, or you can choose your CoQ, Sans vitamin D if you are getting it in other ways or other places. But remember, this is the only day of issue where he's going to do these sizes and the addition of that vitamin D. Just real quickly, we didn't show this chart last hour, but just as another example, this is what you would be spending if you were buying just the CoQ10 and the vitamin D separately. And it's so wild because it's funny. A lot of times when we do today's specials, we say, oh, it's like getting the vitamin D for free. It's like getting the CoQ10 for free.
Well,
I mean.
And the graphic on the screen where it says choice with free vitamin D3.
Right.
So the basic today special is our CoQ10 200. That comes with the vitamin C and full B complex. That's available. So we wanted to give you freedom of choice.
Right.
So we made 3 different versions. In fact, we're already starting to run out of some of the sizes, but we always hold back some capsules because we try to predict the levels. We come close, but never precisely. So we also make that same CoQ10 available to those of you who want 1000 IU vitamin D3 and those of you who want 2000 IU vitamin D3. So you have your choice of either one of the 3. The pure CoQ10 on its own, the CoQ10 with the 1000 IU vitamin D3, or 2000 IU vitamin D3. All of them come with vitamin C, B complex, and B12. So it's your choice. All of them the exact same price. So literally, the vitamin D is free. But also on this today's special day, because the cost of CoQ10, this is our special opportunity because of the volume of capsules to deliver it so affordably. What Shannon was just doing with the other charts there, if you simply look at the cost of B12 and vitamin D and vitamin C, the price today, this would be a great today special for any of those.
It would.
And the CoQ10 is effectively free. So an ingredient that if you looked at the reviews from long ago, they said, great product, great ingredient, it's just too expensive. I can only afford to take it every other day or take 1 or 2 capsules a week. But CoQ10 was 10 times more expensive. So now CoQ10 has become incredibly affordable. And that's what's exciting about this, because I've always said how important it was, but I used to have to apologize for how expensive it was. It just said, it's kind of like those things. If you want the best, it's going to be really expensive. But now I often have to apologize or explain when I'm often asked, it's only a little more than 20 cents a capsule, and it has vitamin C and vitamin D and B12 and B complex in it. You must be taking a shortcut. That must be synthetic CoQ10. It must be bad CoQ10. And no, it's the exact same CoQ10. It's the power of the quantity that we get to do once a year, and that's what we're doing today. When you look at that counter and realize that the substantial majority, I'd say that the 600 and 400 count are probably almost 80% of the orders.
Yes,
so that quantity is why we get to do this once a year and make it so incredibly affordable.
Absolutely. And just to play devil's advocate for a moment, so if you're saying, oh, well, sure, I'm only getting those kind of savings if I'm doing the large size. Now, yes, if you were buying the D, the B, and the C separately, on the large size, it would be almost $300. Your price today with the CoQ10 for free is $169.90. But once more, just to play devil's advocate, even if you're just doing the, I say just, but you know, I travel with the smaller size bottles. Say you were doing the introductory size of that 50 count size, which this is a terrific time of year to do it because of that extended holiday return policy and of course that free shipping. Even on the 50 count size, if you were buying the D, the B, and the C separately, you would be looking at almost $34. Today, it's $27.90. So you get where we're going with this, meaning it's not only the best pricing of the year, it's something that whether your doctor has told you to take CoQ10 or whether you're like a lot of us who have taken it and when you run out you feel the difference, there is such a sense of peace of mind and well-being, let alone sustainable energy on a fundamental and foundational basis. And that is something that you don't get with that quick fix. You know, you hear Andrew and we've got so much information we're gonna try to get through in this abbreviated area because there's so much science and the reviews are incredible. But the more you know, the more you will be compelled to take this. Especially, I think, as we're all getting older in life. I don't know about you, but energy seems to be the big thing that most Americans are complaining about. If you went to your doctor recently, probably the first thing out of your mouth is, I don't have any energy, I don't know what it is, I just, you know, don't have the energy to do the things that I want. So this is that sustainable energy on a foundational cellular level, and more importantly, it's supporting the hardest working organs in your body. When you think about how hard your brain never shuts down, your heart, your liver, if you're stressed out, if you're taking certain medications, if you're overweight. As we get older, we're compromising those CoQ10 levels. And that's why I say it's really hard to ignore this when you think about the multitude of benefits, let alone the cost savings. And sometimes that savings almost becomes an afterthought just because I think we all want to live our best and healthiest life that we can. And for years, I know Colleen and myself and Bobby, you know, Adam, we'd all say if you could only take one thing, CoQ10 was always at that top of the list. And we all understand the benefits of supplementing our vitamin D levels. So now, remember, you can choose it without vitamin D or with vitamin D, 1,000 or 2,000 IU, and get the perfect partnership for the best price in history.
And there are so many great charts on the science that I really haven't devoted enough time to the charts. I haven't devoted really any time to reviews, and I know I should. So I just grabbed some charts here from the science. The quotes are great, and these were, I just grabbed some that dealt with different tissues in our body. I'm going to try to find the ones that deal with hearing. And that as we're aged, especially if we're exposed to loud sounds and things like that, that results in gradual changes in our hearing. All of us, our hearing, certainly at high frequency levels, our hearing suffers as we get older. But this is from the Journal of the Indian Society of Periodontology. Periodontology, that's our mouth, obviously, oral health. Deficiency of CoQ10 has been found to be responsible for periodontal destruction. Therefore, this study was undertaken to evaluate the anti-gingivitis effect of CoQ10 on plaque-induced gingivitis. Promising results were obtained after the solitary application of CoQ10, as well as when it was used as an adjunct to scaling and root planing for treatment of plaque-induced gingivitis. Clinical trials on humans have revealed a relation between oral administration of CoQ10 and improved gingival health and immune response. So a new area, our gum health. Biofactors. In skin, this is fascinating. In skin, endogenous, I haven't talked about this before, CoQ10 levels decline with increasing age. So the inherent internal levels of CoQ10 go down with age throughout our body, including our skin. Additionally, UV irradiation, skin exposed to UV, which leads to oxidative damage, significantly reduces skin's CoQ10 levels. CoQ10 plays an important role in skin due to its bioenergetics and antioxidant properties, meaning you can't make energy without it in the skin, and it's a protective antioxidant. And this effect might be related to the CoQ10 content of skin itself, especially the epidermis. We have already shown that prolonged intake of CoQ10 for at least 2 weeks in humans reduces the wrinkle area rate and wrinkle volume per unit area in the corner of the eye. First time I've read that chart. So, in conclusion, we also found that CoQ10 intake elevates the epidermal CoQ10 level. So when you take a supplement like this, it increases the epidermal CoQ10 level, which may result in reduction of wrinkles as well as other benefits with the potent antioxidant and energizing effects on the skin. So just as I've discussed this in terms of the heart, and as I've discussed it in terms of the liver and the energetics in these tissues and affecting their ability to function optimally and age optimally, our brain as well, we now get to talk about our skin. We talk about the tissues in our mouth. We also get to talk about it in terms of our ear and hearing as well. So it's sort of no wonder that all of this new science keeps cropping up, because when you talk about every organ's ability to do work, you talk about not just its ability to accomplish whatever it's supposed to accomplish, but it has to maintain itself. How it maintains itself determines how we age. If energy is compromised, then that energy is barely going to accommodate the need for that organ to do its daily work. And I believe, and science has shown, that what then suffers is the future of that organ or system or structure, because what suffers is its ability to maintain itself. And how it maintains itself determines how well it functions later in life.
You know what's so interesting about you reading that chart? I can't believe I didn't have that epiphany earlier. We sell a lot of beauty products here at HSN with CoQ10.
Oh, yeah?
We do. And then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Yeah, right?
Guess what? I'm not aware of the fact that CoQ10 can be topically delivered and topically beneficial. I have not seen any science that would indicate to me that CoQ10 can be, again, we've said this about collagen peptides. Collagen peptides absolutely are too large to be delivered. They might exert some external effect, but not that desired effect on the internal collagen. That's just not, unfortunately, how collagen can work. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, it's not how CoQ10 can work on your skin as well. Right. It might deliver some other benefits, but again, if there's any meaningful amount of CoQ10 in those products, then that product is going to be bright, bright, bright yellow. And as I've shown before, when I've done this and I've opened the capsule here and I spread the capsule around with my fingers, what happens? My fingers here, let's see if we can get a shot of this. Can we see?
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Where is it?
Oh, how neat is that?
My fingers get yellow.
They do.
So if you, and they get very yellow, as we can see.
They do.
But those fingers get yellow, so if you're going to put a meaningful amount of CoQ10 in a topical skincare product, it's going to be bright yellow. So what they do is what I've often said about certain skincare products. I often say this about supplements. You read the label, and when CoQ10 used to be very expensive, very, very expensive, thousands of dollars a kilogram, people would put it on the label of a product. They'd put micrograms in. So 1 microgram is 1,000th of a milligram. So they'd put 200 micrograms, and most consumers wouldn't know. They wouldn't really notice, because you'd assume it was 200 milligrams, not 200 micrograms. And of course, on skincare products, they don't declare the active level of those ingredients. So they're typically just, as I say, blessed. It's like someone just blessed it with a certain amount of CoQ10 and really didn't put a meaningful amount, because if they did, it will be yellow. Even at a few percent, it will be yellow.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, so that is the natural color. Well,
yep.
It's hard to believe, but I know you see that clock on your screen. Only 10 minutes remaining in this show. Remember, Andrew will be back with Colleen later on tonight at 8 o'clock. You're welcome to shop now. I actually make my little Andrew Lessman list and shop on hsn.com after the show to make sure that I get everything I want. Remember, Andrew's only here a couple of times a year, but this is something that we wait for once a a year and once a year only. He has truly outdone himself, even in the realm or scope of previous CoQ10 Today's Specials. This really cannot compare. I mean, it really can't. I mean, yes, the savings are one thing, but it's really the multitude of benefits and how this enhances, how this improves, how it really helps further our life on every fundamental level, whether we're just talking about energy or heart or brain or liver. It's just, it's amazing when you think about it. You never want to be a day without this.
And even I'll read some charts about the eye in a moment here. There are even more charts that talked about skin and skin wrinkling, because the energetics, the skin that has a better capacity to produce energy has a better capacity to protect itself. A skin with higher levels of CoQ10 has a better capacity to protect itself from UV radiation, which is the single most aging external effect in terms of our skin. So if we look at this chart here, and certainly when we talk about our liver, energy is about our liver being able to protect itself from all the toxic chemicals it deals with and all the chemical work it has to do on our behalf. Certainly our heart has the highest concentrations of CoQ10 because it's constantly doing muscular contraction. It never rests. Our skeletal muscles get to rest. Our heart never, ever, ever gets to rest. So this is from Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science. The retina is particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress. The macular region is the most stressed. Since the retina's oxygen consumption rate is greater than any other tissue relative to, say, size, large amounts of reactive oxygen species are formed. Those are free radicals that are damaging. The relative concentration of CoQ10, coupled with its ability to act as an efficient antioxidant, suggests that CoQ10 may function as a powerful antioxidant in the eye. Not suggest. CoQ10 can efficiently protect membrane phospholipids from lipid peroxidation and protect mitochondrial membrane proteins and DNA from oxidative damage. We talked about lutein and zeaxanthin when we talked about Ultimate Eye. CoQ10 is its perfect partner. Omega-3, its perfect partner. And I'm just going to read some reviews. I'll find the charts on hearing later for this evening. But just some reviews. I haven't read really any, and we have so many great ones. Amazing CoQ10. I always have this product on hand. This is the one vitamin above all else that people should take. Just makes you feel so much better. My husband and I have been taking this product since January 2014. We just feel so good now. When we went on vacation in May, I decided not to bring supplements along, and by the time we got home, we vowed never to do that again. We simply weren't feeling as good without them. This one makes a big difference. Try it, and you will see the difference too. Quality supplements, vitamins, easy to swallow, made in the USA. My last blood test results showed me to be within all of the established normal parameters. It's important to take this product if you are taking high blood pressure and cholesterol medicine. From Mel in Georgia, he's absolutely correct. Whether you're taking, say, antidepressants, drugs for blood pressure, drugs for cholesterol in particular, drugs for osteoporosis, bisphosphonates, you want to be ensuring that you have adequate CoQ10 because those drugs conspire to lower the vital CoQ10 we all need. And I'm not making up the essential nature of CoQ10. It's a fact. It was made up by someone hundreds of thousands or millions of years ago, someone other than me, and CoQ10 happens to be the essential molecule for electron transport in our cells, in the mitochondria of our cells. And that production of energy, it doesn't just determine how we experience energy or how we experience fatigue. What it determines is how well every cell in our body can maintain itself, can protect itself. And whether we're talking about our skin cells, whether we're talking about our heart, the cells in our heart, the myocardium, whether we're talking about our liver or brain, our capacity to do work, those cells, organs, tissues, capacity to do work, it's not just work, it's also maintenance. They're not only responsible for doing the work that they're charged with, but they're responsible for taking care of themselves and maintaining sort of their own life support as well. And that energy is determinative of the quality of that work and the quality of that maintenance. So you can't underestimate the importance of CoQ10. That's the only thing I'm left with reading the research. The one thing I want to emphasize is you don't need to spend more to benefit from CoQ10. You don't need to spend 5 times more on ubiquinol. 95, 98% of the research on CoQ10 is about this ingredient, ubiquinone. Ubiquinol, its close cousin, it's just its reduced form. So the reduced form of ubiquinone is ubiquinol. In our body, it exists in both forms that are constantly interconverted. So I prefer to see you spend far less and get far more. That's the best investment.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's an investment in you. It's an investment in your good health. And certainly this is the gift-giving season. We've got that extended holiday return policy. And it is nice. That 50-count size does make a nice little stocking stuffer if you want to get somebody started on it, because all of these, the addition of the vitamin D, the B, and the C is more than the price of admission on any single one of those sizes.
And they're not there just to make this a great value, which they do. They are there to make sure this is the greatest CoQ10 you could possibly take, because it's naive to think, it would be scientifically incorrect to think, if you look at how your cell works, if you look at, say, the intermediary, if you just look at the basic metabolism, the biochemistry that's going on in your cell, that's creating energy for you. It's not CoQ10 alone. You need to still have, even B12. B12 is indispensable for the creation of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is how our body transports oxygen. We all hear about anemia and things like that. If we don't have adequate hemoglobin to transport oxygen, then we can't produce energy. We can't perform that oxidation adequately. So what I'm trying to do is ensure that no chain, as they say, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So you could have a chain with these enormously strong links. You have one little weak link in there, you put any pressure on that chain, doesn't matter how strong the others were, it's gone. You're only going to be delivering the benefits associated with how weak that weak link was. With this product, there are no weak links, which is why this product, if you look at the reviews, almost 90% of the reviews are 5-star. Over 95% are positive reviews. That's kind of crazy in terms of unanimity. We all talk about right now how much America doesn't agree and how divided we are and how partisan we are. I prefer to leave politics at the wayside when I do what I do. I think we can all agree about quality. We all share the same biochemistry, no matter how politically different we are, which is kind of funny. In the old days, before I was ever on TV, we advertised on radio. We'd always advertise on talk radio. And we're non-denominational, so we'd be on a liberal talk radio show, we'd get complaints from conservative folks. We'd be on a conservative talk radio show, we'd get complaints from liberal folks. I'm someone who, I find myself kind of squarely planted in the middle. So what I used to always respond was say that no matter what our political views are, we all deserve to be healthy. We all deserve to be happy. So the way I view this, my job is making products that keep us all happy at that one time when we could all agree that good health is something we all have earned and we all deserve.